Yeah. When he's done with this interview, we're going to cut it. Keep it up, though.
What do you mean? Anything else happen during the race?
Right front. You're okay. We're waiting on Carl Busch. Do I need to get in? If you want to go check and make sure Casey's escorting Carl Busch, I would. It's not pertinent, but just go check it out. Okay? You're fine. No, you're fine. No, not really. Jim is in here. I know it is. He gets a full 20 minutes. Go ahead and cut it, and we'll start this. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with our post-race media availability and today's Goodies Headache Relief Shot 500 here at Martinsville Speedway. We are now joined by our second place finisher, Jamie McMurray. Jamie, big battle there at the end between you and Jeff Gordon. Talk a little bit about the closing laps here today.
Yeah, I mean, when Jeff gave me the outside, I somewhat wanted that. I had struggled on the inside, and knowing it was just going to be a green-white checkered, I thought that I might be able to get around him. It was just, honestly, it was really hard to see. I had a light smoke visor on. It was hard to see with your visor up, and when I shut it coming to one to go, it was really dark. And so I was a little bit nervous. I haven't done a restart in the new restart zone, and it was kind of hard to see where exactly the restart zone was. So, had a lot on my mind there. I just drove as hard as I could. Jeff was on the inside, and his car just stuck a little bit better than mine. And I was hoping I could just get close enough to him down the backstretch that I could make some more drama for today versus what we already had. But I spun the tires really bad off turn 2 and was not able to get to his back.
All right.
Yeah, I know. I should have dumped your ass.
I know.
And we are now also joined by Kyle Busch, who finished 5th in today's Goodies Headache Relief Shot 500. Kyle, quite an exciting finish there at the end. Just talk about your final laps here today at Martinsville.
Yeah, it was quite exciting there, I guess, at the later stages of the race. But it was exciting for us in the beginning part of the race. Unfortunately, I made a mistake early and touched the water getting into 1, holding my car too tight to the curb to try to stay off of the 3 car, and unfortunately just drove me right into him. And we spun him out, spun myself out, had some damage to the car after that, and just didn't quite feel right thereafter. I wasn't sure what bent, but something was definitely amiss on the front end. But Adam made some good changes to the car throughout the rest of the day to adjust the car to kind of free it up a little bit for me to make sure we could roll the middle, and I felt like that was where our strong suit was. And we kind of suffered a little bit on forward drive late in the going, but all in all, that center took care of us today. So, can't say enough about our M&M's Crispy guys. They did a great job and come home with the top 5. So we're thrilled for that, and time to move on.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up to questions. Please state your name and affiliation. We'll start up here with Jenna.
Jennifer, AP. Kyle, I'm sorry I didn't hear the first things you said. You hit water there on the apron?
Yeah, there was it was damp. I don't know if there was water. I could see it at the end of the race with the lights the way they were. You could see the little bit of shine there, and so I hit water. It was damp all day. Everybody kind of guarded to get away from it, but my car loves rolling the curb, so I was just trying to be as tight to it as I could.
So you and your teammate are both in that accident, and at that time it's like, oh my God, Joe Gibbs Racing, horrible day. What does it say for both of you to kind of come back and salvage it?
Yeah, I mean, we did a really good job. I hate that my car was bent up and we weren't able to be better than what we were there at the end. I was really just hindered by what the front end had for me there after I made contact with, with the 3 car. But all in all, I'm thrilled for our day. I wish I didn't screw up Carl's day. I hate it for him and those guys. They obviously didn't recover quite as good as we did, so I hate it that I put them in a little bit too deep of a hole, I'm sure, but not as deep of a hole as some other guys there in the deep field. So hopefully he can come out and we can both be okay.
And I know it's supposed to be one question only, but there's not many people in here. So where do you guys stand on, maybe not specifically Kenseth and Logano, but on retaliation and payback? Matt did have a comment of you've got to maintain respect in the garage, and sort of indicated that he had to do that.
Well, I will say that I feel like I get along with everyone in the garage, most everyone, and I am a nice guy, and the only guy I've ever been into it with is Matt, and we wrecked each other 2 or 3 times in 2004 and 5. Bristol, Loudon, we wrecked each other, at least 2 or 3 times. So I know that, and he's turned out to be one of my best friends. But I would say, growing up, Terry Labonte, Ricky Rudd. Those were guys you just did not mess with because you knew that they would retaliate. And Matt Kenseth's in that same category. Matt is just Matt races everyone fair and he races hard. And I feel like if he thinks that that there could have been better decisions made, then so be it. Are you scared to say something because he's your teammate?
I'm not scared to say anything because
Okay.
he's my teammate.
Okay.
I love Matt Kenseth.
Yeah. Okay.
Did he do anything wrong? I don't know. Did he do anything right? I don't know. I think it all depends on whose name's above the door, on whether or not you're allowed to do it.
Does NASCAR need to curtail this?
It's
I don't
boys
think
being
so.
boys right now,
Yeah.
but you got to be consistent. I definitely feel NASCAR is very consistent in being inconsistent on calls, and I think it's BS. And they better. I say they better, but they don't have to listen to me for squat, so it really doesn't matter what I say.
You should have stopped talking about 3 minutes ago.
Any final questions for Jamie or Kyle? Oh, go ahead.
Wow.
Sort of big picture, removing your guys from the situation, what does it mean to have Jeff Gordon in the Final Four?
I think it was really cool. I think this is probably, if Jeff Gordon was going to win at a racetrack, I think Martinsville is probably the racetrack to win at. He obviously was the first. There was a lot of good cars, or good drivers here before Jeff Gordon, but Jeff Gordon had his heyday here for sure, and it's really cool that his heyday continued into his last season here at Martinsville, and he was able to score that victory. So that puts him on to Homestead, and that's a car we're going to have to race, no doubt about it. I said that earlier this week. I said that if Jeff made it to Homestead, that he would be a guy that I don't believe could beat the 24 or could beat the 22 straight up. But if the 22 ain't there, Jeff's going to be a contender. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, for me, Jeff Gordon is the only diecast or T-shirt that I ever bought growing up before I made it to NASCAR. So it was a really cool moment for me to get to battle with him on a green-white checkered at Martinsville. I certainly wish it would have turned out a little bit differently, but that's a really good memory for me and a very good moment that I will not forget.
All right, thanks for joining us today.
All right, great thing.
I wouldn't have got out of here.
You would not have been out of here.